So talking of auditions and interviews, what have you learned for dealing with rejection and setback? Because this is like not a daily thing, but it's probably a monthly thing for any actor.
Oh, it's daily.
Is it daily?
No. But yeah, it's
Was it hard at the start?
Yeah,
You
of
took
course.
it personally?
Of course. Oh, yeah. And you do, you think, what is it? Why wasn't I good enough? Was I not, I don't know, was my hair color wrong? Was I not muscular enough? Was my accent wrong? Whatever, infinite possibilities are. But then actually I've been on the other side during Outlander, the sort of making it. I actually got to sit and audition other people. And I saw how people come in and they were nervous or excited or whatever. And I saw actually how it never actually really came down to the performance. It was more, they're just not right. They're not the right person for the job. It just didn't sit right. And so I guess in a way that takes a lot of the pressure off the interviewee. In a sense, it's not that they did wrong. It's just that there was someone else who was more right.
Yes. Yeah. It's my granny used to say, what's for you won't go by you.
That's it.
And I think in some ways to get that mindset is probably quite useful and powerful for someone that is in quite a vulnerable position, because auditioning is a vulnerable thing, right? You're putting yourself on the line.
Yeah. And I think, I look back on the jobs that I could have had, that I got close on, and oh my God, I wish I'd got that one, or I wish that had happened. But actually, I wouldn't be where I was now, and I wouldn't have carved out this particular career. So do I regret anything? I don't think so. I think, I've just you have to let it go and move on.
So what about on social media then? How do you deal with the sort of comments and commentary on your performance from people that are not within your world but that you're performing to?
Yeah, that's a really interesting one, because I guess social media for me, and for most of us, I guess, is really taken off in the past decade. I start showing my age now or whatever, but yeah, I guess at first, I threw myself into it, and then when you start to read comments or negative feedback, at first you take it to heart. It's like, or reading critics, people saying, this person, whatever the performance was whatever. But I think now I've got better at it. I almost don't bother reading them. But it is interesting because, there can be 100,000 great comments and one that's bad, and you're like, oh God. Yeah. And you take that to heart. But yeah, social media is something that I have a sort of love-hate relationship with, because I think it's great. It gives us access to people, which is wonderful. But also, I think it can be quite negative as well.
And there was a period where you released a statement, didn't you, about, was it comments about you personally or your personal life or stuff away from your acting? And you actually just said, look, this is I think you used the phrase like a daily stress or a daily anxiety for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's tricky, because your career is a career that puts you in the public domain.
Yeah.
And therefore people think that everyone in that public domain is fair game for that. So putting out a statement, will it stop it? Probably not. Does it make you feel better? Probably. Does it equip you to deal with it? I guess only you can answer that. Like, do you feel better equipped for that sort of stuff now?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I guess, short story was, I guess with the rise of social media and the internet, people can find out information. They can really almost have an influence on your personal life. And I think I'm very protective of my personal life. It's just something that I've learned throughout time. But at that point, I sort of reached the end of kind of dealing with it. And I felt a statement was important, because also sometimes people don't know what goes on. We see celebrities or sports people, but we don't actually know what's going on in their lives, and who knows what could actually have happened to them that day or the day before or whatever. So I guess, it's all fake anyway. Look at Instagram. People just putting up, is it reality? Not really. No. So I guess I wanted to be quite honest there and have a platform, and I knew I had a platform to do that. But
what was the reaction like?
It was great for a short time, and of course it goes back to what it was. But I think for me it was important just to put it out there, and at least I'd said my piece, and then people can take that, deal with it as they wish.
And what it comes back to really is you only really listening to the people that matter.
Yeah.
So a question we often like asking our guests is, what do you look for in the people that you want in your inner circle, in your group?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Because I think personally I'm a bit of a loner, or I have a very small group of like close friends, I think. I don't know if it's the same with everyone that's sports people or whatever. I mean, I guess there's this drive, and I think I've put my career first throughout my whole life. So I think at times I've let personal relationships go to one side. So I think I do have a small group of friends or people who are close. And I've become more guarded, I think, as I maybe have more success, because I guess there's just more to play, and there's more happening in your life that maybe you want to protect or you want to control. And I think I've got to control. But what do I look for? I don't know. I guess my closest friends are people who actually know me from the longest, I guess.
So what qualities do they bring to your life?
Comfort, I think, support, understanding, and I guess an empathy, right? Someone that's been through something similar or understands your situation where you're at. So I think, it's just it's so important to have someone, you know, like that. And I think you know, a lot of us, especially I suppose social media or meeting people, you know, especially on, it's hard to know what other people's agendas are. So it's important to have that base.
So does it take you time to really be you when you meet new people? And
I suppose yes and no. I think I'm approachable, but I guess in the last few years, I guess I do protect myself more. Yeah.